Chapter 8. Taking the call, landing a client. You did it! You impressed with a headshot of you doing tricks at the skate park or something. Your bio brags about how many hot chili peppers you can eat in under 45 seconds, and you're ready to work with some clients. But wait, you have to actually sell yourself to a potential client on the discovery call they booked with you. How exactly does one do that? Fake it till you make it. The first freelance assignment I ever had was when I was 16. I lied, said I was 18, and got them to send me cash to shoot and edit some short how-to videos that still exist on their website to this day. I made good money, about $300 a video, and my clients were none the wiser that a minor was shooting and editing their content from her parents' backyard. While I recommend that you don't outright lie to your clients, you should still embody the energy of a 16-year-old who thinks they're invincible. If that's not the energy that resonates with you, that's cool. Just tap into whatever confidence source moves you. Whether that's professional, calm, and collected, or energetic and passionate, do that. I've won out on huge jobs against very established writers with published books and who had decades of experience on me. Why? I literally asked one of my clients that. Because you had more passion, my client told me. Even though I was 26 at the time, I was being entrusted with huge books. Books that were about murders, cold cases, redemption. I was being entrusted with people's life stories and being paid tens of thousands of dollars to do so. My resume didn't matter. What mattered was that I had a passion for my work and care for my clients. And that care showed up on the page and in my meetings with clients. So when you're talking to clients, it doesn't matter that you don't have a million years of experience or published books to your name. What matters is that you confidently share what you bring to the table, which is a lot. And if you're feeling down on yourself, return to your why and then fake it till you make it. If you lack experience, you can make it up in passion and perspective. Own that. Don't ever let someone try and undervalue you because you're not some Nobel laureate. Most published authors write boring books that suck. Some are great, but most aren't. I guarantee you can do better than a stuffy professor who has to write a book to keep their tenure. At the end of the day, I guarantee you that if you are reading these words, you're a damn good writer. Why? Because you care about learning and have great taste already because you're reading this book. So many people call themselves writers but never put in the work. Their work suffers and they don't have the pride in the process or customer service that you need to be a successful freelancer. So wear your confidence proudly. Even if you feel anxious or underprepared, step up to the plate and give it your best shot. If they don't work with you, that's their loss. Every no pushes you closer to your yes, where you're truly meant to be. Every potential client call gives you a chance to practice and get closer, so enjoy the chance up at bat. How to prepare for a call. If a client has sent you over any files or links to check out before your call, make sure to read them thoroughly and be able to reference anything in them. Also, do your research. Google a client and get a sense of who they are and what they've been up to. Don't be creepy by bringing up too much about them on the call. Let them tell you about them. But doing this client research can help you figure out what kind of questions to ask. If they haven't sent you their company website, see if it's in their email address, if that's available to you. Do your best to get as much context as possible going into the call and see if there's a touchstone or something you have in common with your client. When you're creating availability on your calendar tool or other scheduling system for discovery calls, don't forget to give yourself breaks in between calls. Everyone knows I'm a masochist when it comes to batching all my discovery calls on one day. Let's do 13 calls back-to-back, no breaks, baby. But in recent times, I've made an effort to be more mindful with my schedule. Can you tell my villain era is behind me? I recommend scheduling in breaks between every call or two so that you have some time to decompress, check emails, take notes, and add anything to your task list that pertains to the call you just had. On the discovery call, ready to discover some great clients? No snakes here, Indiana Jones, just some of my top tips for impressing on a potential client call. Practice your brief 1 to 2 minute headline about who you are, what you do, and what your superpowers are. I always bring up my TV and film experience because my clients like to know about my background of working in Hollywood and being trained in storytelling. I also talk about growing up in a small town in Arizona where people ride horses to work and often run into fellow equestrian aficionados. Give people touchstones about you that they can relate to mixed in with impressive professional accomplishments or details about your strengths and skills. Spend most of the call listening and asking questions. I spend 80% of my calls with potential clients and clients listening. I spend the other 20% simply sharing my experience and advice and asking and answering questions. Be prepared with questions you can ask to show that you read anything they sent along and are interested in. Understand what they're looking for from a writer. Not sure what to ask? I love asking the following questions. Why do you want to tell this story? Why did you start this company? Why do you care about this industry? Tell me more about you and your company. What are you looking for in a writer? What's your timeline for this project? Do you have a budget for this project? What are your goals for this project? Do you want to get this book published the traditional route, or do you want to self-publish and just distribute to your family, etc.? Gather information and send the quote and proposal later. I usually approach these calls pretty informally. I love to chat up a potential client, feel them out, get to know them and what they're looking for, and then tell them I'm going to follow up with a quote and a proposal plan of action. More on that in a sec. Generally, it's best to separate the money stuff from the fun stuff. Money is often a pain point for people, so the more you can separate the finance stuff from your personal interactions with them, the better. However, some clients will ask for a quote or your broad price range on a call. Have some numbers prepared before the call, but still be very firm and say you'll follow up with a quote. If a client asks you for a quote on the call, you can simply just say something like, I'll send over my price list after we hop off. Great question. Let me create a custom quote for you, and I'll email it to you after our call today. Let me go through your materials, and I'll get back to you over email before end of day with my quote. In addition, you'll probably want to take a look at any materials they currently have, such as a partial draft or company branding materials, before formulating a quote, as you don't want to be surprised by something they failed to mention on the call that might impact scope of work. I create these voiceovers using Wondercraft AI, a text-to-speech tool that speaks in your voice so you can create more podcasts, audiobooks, and voiceovers, all by just dropping in some text. Use my code SUTO50, SUTO50, or the link in the description below to get 50% off your Wondercraft AI subscription. I get a small commission if you use my code, so thanks for your support. Sending creativity and good writing vibes your way. Amy.